We're back with another Pick'em video. It is Friday, January 23rd in the NBA, and we're doing a monster giveaway because we continue to roll in the NBA. $100 giveaway for one of you guys, and you can sign up very, very easily. All you gotta do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment something down below. And the last thing, sign up for Pikkit, which is a free bet tracker for you guys to use. Sign up using my code RichPicks. There's a link in the description down below. That will enter you into this giveaway. When you sign up using my code RichPicks, it's $3 or $100 to you guys anyway, just for signing up and syncing your first sports book. But again, that will enter you into the giveaway. When you leave your comment down below, just make sure you leave your Pikkit username so I can track who's signed up and everything like that. But yeah, Pikkit's giving us $100 to give away for one of you guys, and that winner will be announced on Sunday. So you should have the funds by Sunday football to get some money down for that. So $100 giveaway. Thank you so much for Pikkit. Again, totally free for you guys to use. Pikkit is awesome. I've been using it and shouting it out for the past month or so. It tracks all your bets easily. Sync your sportsbook. You don't do anything after that. It's going to tell you if you're winning or losing. But yeah, $100 to one of you guys. I really appreciate everyone watching, and I wanted to give it back to you guys. And Pikkit was nice enough to reach out to do this for us. So sign up for Pikkit, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and like it. That's all you got to do. Winner will be announced for the $100 on Sunday. So obviously super pumped up about that, but we got a basketball slate to talk about today. 8 games. We're going to go over the recap of yesterday's video picks. We're going to go over the injury news, any teams in a back-to-back, projected minutes and all that. And then we will hop into the plays for today and the analysis on those plays. We got a little bit of everything today. We got points lines, we got a rebounds line, we got an under, we got an over, we have an assist line. So really attacking all different angles. And of course, we've been cruising. 8 of the last 10 days have been winning days for us. So again, shout out to Pikkit. They've been awesome to me since partnering up. And again, I've been using them for 2+ years anyway to track all my plays. They are amazing. So now recap time, and it should have been a sweep. Let's go real quick through the winners here. We did go up 1.53 units. I'm never complaining about a good day, but I was just kind of expecting to come in here with a sweep from the beginning of this game. Whatever. Kevin Durant over his 24.5 points, crushed that, 36 points, easy money cash, had this by the third quarter. Game went to overtime, didn't need it. If you laddered up his points, we talked about it. Great matchup for Meduso, and he gets there. Jonathan Kuminga, we got super lucky. This guy went in for 45 seconds and had 6 points before I could blink. But he does get hurt in that second quarter. And, sometimes the ball does not go your way, and that's happened to us many times in the past. Sometimes it does go your way. And Jonathan Kuminga was one of those plays. So we'll take the win there. Jay McDaniels over his 4.5 boards. He ends with 5, but he had 5 rebounds very early in that third quarter. So this was a very early cash, no sweat bet at all. And we knew he wasn't going to get 10 rebounds, and he just happened to land on 5. That's all we needed, plus money winner. And all those guys' games were before Bam's, so it was setting up for like a magical night. I get my popcorn, I'm watching Bam shoot threes and shoot threes. Before I even knew it, he had 1 3 very early in this game, and then they just miss after miss after miss piled up. He was cooking in every other way, got to the free throw line, didn't miss there. 32 points in that game and shot 7 threes, but just didn't get there. We can actually go over to Props Madness, kind of spoiled the fun there, but this is the last 3 years for Bam. 20% of games he's gone over this, but we knew the uptick of threes was coming. He got a great matchup for threes against Klingan. If he shoots 7 or more threes in a game, he's over this in every single game before that. Not only over this the past 3 years, not only over this, crushing this. 3 threes at least, 4 threes a lot of the times, averaging 3.8 3-pointers made per game. Except for the game yesterday where he shot 1 of 7. And that's just variance. Again, going back to the Jonathan Kuminga play, we probably shouldn't have won that one, but it rolled our way that time. Bam's shots ended up not going our way. So we'll take the winning day. Should not be complaining about a winning day, but I thought we'd have the sweep. And I just wanted to explain that one if you guys were like, dang, Bam didn't get there. Bad read. Wasn't a bad read. 7 shots. We'll take that every time. So now quickly going to the injury report here. Going to expedite this just because I got a little bit later of a start today. But teams in a back-to-back, Houston and Denver. Both those teams are in a back-to-back. Houston obviously played an overtime game yesterday that they lost as well. So could absolutely see someone come up on the injury report. But as of right now, Steven Adams is pretty much the only guy, as well as Aaron Holiday. But Kevin Durant, Amin Thompson, Jabari, Alper, and Sengun, these guys are going to be getting the bulk of the minutes. Reed Shepherd can play himself into more minutes. He's been great off the bench, especially in the fourth quarter of the past few games. DFS, great 3-and-D. Torrey Eason coming back from injury. So we'll see. Any one of these guys could pop out the injury report. I would not be surprised, especially because Cade Cunningham is questionable right now. They're 3.5-point favorites. The Detroit team is at home. And Duncan Robinson also probable. I guess I should point that out. Karis LeVert doubtful here. There's a couple injury tags. Obviously, the main thing is going to be Cade. People play differently without Cade out there to set him up. So going to be a harder team to read overall. without Cade out there. A guy like Duncan Robinson, probably you'd expect, you'd have to look at the numbers, is going to get set up for three-pointers and shots like that by a guy like Cade Cunningham. So just got to know if Cade's playing. Weird one overall to bet on just because the injury news and the back-to-back situation. So just keep that in mind. Phoenix and Atlanta. Projected minutes for Phoenix, no one injured. So I'm just going to go right through this team. There's the projected minutes. Again, I'm expediting this today. Typically, I'd mention like every single player. Jalen Johnson, projected for a ton of time for this Hawks team. Nickeil Alexander-Walker continues to hoop. Onyeka Okongwu turned into a big three-point shooter. Dyson Daniels going to get the time on the court. Can he finally start putting down three-pointers? So this is what we got going on. CJ McCollum has been getting a lot of time after that Trae Young trade. So that's what we got. 3-point spread. Road team. Phoenix playing really well. Then we got Sacramento and Cleveland. This is not a back-to-back. We got Domantas Sabonis playing. He probably continues to come off the bench. Malik Monk off the bench. DeMar, Westbrook, LaVine getting the only 30-plus minutes here. Raymond and Precious Achiuwa. I don't know if both those guys start, but we'll see what happens there. And eventually Sabonis will start starting for this team, but they're going to be very cautious with them. They are 12-33. They're 11-point underdogs here. Let's go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is one of the bigger ones, I'd say. Darius Garland and Sam Merrill continue to be out. That means the Jalen Tyson show could continue here. Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, going to get the projected time on the court. But even so, in a blowout situation, Jalen Tyson's kind of been that guy that continues to play. So if this turns into a 20-point game, 15-point game down the stretch, they might keep Tyson in there if he's, maybe struggling or maybe cooking. Either way, Tyson's been the main beneficiary from Garland and Merrill being out. Moving to Boston and Brooklyn. This is going to be in Brooklyn. Boston favored by 8.5. D. White, the biggest absence here for Boston. You can see the projected minutes. Guys like Derek White, honestly, continues to just take the more of an offensive load without Derek White on the floor. But I expect a big, Pritchard show. This could be an Anthony Simons look. Any of these guys could step up because Derek White obviously plays a bunch of time, and they're going to get boosts in usage and everything like that. But it is really, without Derek White in the lineup, it's Jaylen Brown taking more shots, Sam Hauser potentially getting more looks, Peyton Pritchard, guys like that. And then on the Brooklyn side of things, no Haywood Highsmith. You can take a look at what they got going on. No one really gets a ton of run on this team other than Michael Porter Jr., who might get traded in this upcoming season. We'll see what happens at the trade deadline that's approaching. But Cam Thomas, not getting a ton of time off the bench. Igor Denham, their rookie. A lot of guys are just splitting minutes, so it's hard to know who's playing the majority of the time. Indiana and OKC, a ton of injuries for OKC, as we know. They are still favorites at home by 16 points against Indiana, who are dealing with their own problems in terms of injuries this season. But Siakam, Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, we'll see what they can do against the Thunder, defending champs. Jarris Walker, we've talked about many times before, can absolutely play himself into more minutes. Jay Huff, another guy that can light up very, very quickly, but he had coming off a bad game, I'm pretty sure, against Boston, where he didn't do much of anything. Moving to the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, we have a bunch of injuries for the Pelicans typically, but Trey Murphy and Zion should be out there. Derek Queen hopefully gets more minutes than Yves Missi today. Herb Jones, questionable as of right now, a dude that can absolutely get a lot of time on the floor. And Sadiq Bey as well, another guy that can play himself into 30-plus minutes on any given night. This is against Memphis, 6-point favorites for Memphis. They are a ton of injuries for them. No John Morant, obviously no Edey, Ty Jerome's been out, Aldama. They have a lot of injuries, so I think this actually could be a team that we potentially attack. This could be like a Jaren Jackson Jr., just easy over points line. Cam Spencer plays really well without John Morant in the lineup. So just those are the two guys I'm looking at, but even the bench guys specifically, just look at the minutes projections here and take your pick on who's getting the biggest boost. I'd have to look a little bit farther into that to give you more in-depth analysis on Memphis. Denver and Milwaukee. Again, Denver is on a back-to-back. Jonas Valanciunas played really, really well in his limited minutes, and he started. Projected for 20 minutes today, but could see a little bit more. He's kind of the main guy I'm looking at. Jamal Murray didn't have to do much yesterday because it was the Peyton Watson show. They also had a very weak matchup against the Wizards, I believe. Milwaukee side of things, Miles Turner, probable, so he could be back in this one. This is 6.5-point favorites for Milwaukee. Kind of weird, to be totally honest. We'll see what happens there. I'd honestly probably lean Denver, but Denver is on a back-to-back, and they're going into Milwaukee, so I guess I understand the spread. But Denver continues to roll 30-15, even without Jokic, Jamal Murray. Even Peyton Watson just been looking insane. Aaron Gordon has his moments. Jonas Valanciunas, starting caliber center that comes off the bench for this team. Then we got Toronto and Portland. This is the last game of the day. Oh, Portland's on a back-to-back. Did I not mention that? Did I just miss that? Portland Trailblazers, where are you? Yeah, they are in a back-to-back. I am just tripping. So Portland's also in a back-to-back because they played yesterday. I know Denny Advia got hurt in that game. We'll see if he comes back and plays. And then Toronto dealing with their injuries too. So a bunch of questionable tags here. A little bit harder to read, of course. Is RJ going to return? Murray Boyles. Jamal Shed is going to be a big beneficiary if he doesn't. Same with Sandro Mamakhelishvili. And then on the Portland side of things, is Denny Advia going to play? As of right now, he's probable. So maybe that back's not hurting him too much, and he can go out there and do his thing. So a little bit expedited injury report. Sorry about that. But again, later start. Let's hop into the plays for today, though, because I'm excited to talk about some more winners. So jumping into Props Madness like we always do to start talking about our plays here. We're going to go to that Memphis game because I think there's a lot of injuries and a lot of guys can get a huge boost. And Jaren Jackson Jr., I honestly was looking at him. I really want to bet his 21.5 on FanDuel at -112, to be totally honest. But without Ja Morant, I'm actually going to go, well, it's actually without Ja Morant, without Santi Aldama, without the injuries, or with all the injuries that are piling up for this team, I'm going to go to Jalen Wells. And it's going to be a weird play. I don't typically do this, but what I've done over on FanDuel is I parlayed his points line, his 12.5. I don't mind that at all. You could play his 12.5 line. It's plus 100. You'll see in the recap exactly how I go to this. But the main play I'm going to do for Jalen Wells is I'm going to do 10 plus points, and I'm going to do 2 threes, and that turns to a -109, same person parlay on FanDuel. So it's going to be kind of a little bit of a weird one. We'll take a look at this 12.5 points without Ja Morant, and it starts to look a whole lot better. Obviously, still only over in 50% of games, still only over in even like only getting about 18 or so minutes. But without Santi Aldama, without these other guys that are all injured, he's projected for 28 minutes in this game. He could get 25-ish, but I think he's going to get the time on the court. And without Ja Morant, and with the 25 plus minutes, or even just 24 plus minutes, the hit rate starts to go up. 25 plus minutes, hit rate starts to go up. And you can't get a better matchup than this. He's got a great opportunity to catch and shoot, great opportunity for above the break threes, great opportunity for spot up, great opportunity for transition. I think he's going to get the time on the court. And again, the hit rate doesn't look amazing even in the 25 plus minutes, but he's played these guys twice before this season, and I think he's probably got this team circled on his calendar. 14 points and 25 points. 5 for 6 from 3, 4 from 8 from 3. Volume is not amazing, but I think he can go get us 10 points and knock down 2 threes. And again, -109 for that same player parlay. I don't mind that at all. So that's how I'm playing Jalen Wells. I might ladder up his threes. I might just do the 2 threes as well, the 3 threes as well, because he's knocking them down. But the hit rate just looks a whole lot better. And you can look at the 3 points as well. If you have to pay some juice at the 1.5, which is why I parlayed it with his 10 plus points. But no Santi Aldama. He's done it once against the Hawks. He played 26 minutes in that game, 2 of 9 from 3. Ja Morant played in that game. I just think he's going to get the time on the court. And I know Jalen Wells can score the basketball when he gets the time on the court. So again, I'm expecting 25 plus minutes. Obviously, the hit rate on his 3-point line looks a whole lot better. So I want to give you guys some options for Jalen Wells. But again, the points I think could be there. Again, the 10 plus points the 9.5 plus points looks a whole lot better. 85% hit rate in 25 plus minutes. And I think he's going to get the time in the court with all these injuries that are piling up. And again, you can't get a better matchup. So definitely could ladder this guy up a little bit, 15 plus points, whatever you want to do. But the main play I'm going to do is the 10 plus points for Jalen Wells and the 2 plus threes for Jalen Wells, -109 on FanDuel. You'll see in the recap if I attack him in any other way, but that's the main way I'm going to go to him. Next guy I'm looking at here is going to be Alperen Sengun for 20 plus points, +100 on FanDuel right now. And without Steven Adams in the lineup, he's over this in a lot of games. Just coming off a bad game against Philly, I think he's in a bounce back spot, did not shoot very well, shot 2 of 7 from the free throw line. They lose that game. This is a back-to-back set as well. But even just without Steven Adams, he's over this in a lot of games. This was a game he played 1 minute, so if you want to just take away that game, obviously the hit rate starts to look a whole lot better, but it should be a close game. Pistons are a good team. I did just get word that Cade Cunningham is present at shoot-around, so he could be in this game. I expect a close game here. I'd probably lean the Pistons' way, but Sengun should be a big part of their offense. Is it a great matchup? Horrible matchup in terms of what he can do on the court, but without Steven Adams, even in difficult matchups, again, we can say defensive player type, whatever, challenging, he's still over in a lot of these games. Just 20 points here, but that would do it for us. Bad game, again, bounce back spot opportunity. And the last thing I'll point to is, again, just overall, even without Steven Adams in or out of the lineup, in these challenging matchups, he's still over this in 50% of games. But he's got a great matchup, he's got a great opportunity to get some points here, especially in a back-to-back set. He's over in all 3 back-to-backs so far this year. Difficult matchups against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was able to do it there. Against the Kings, he took advantage, and against the Jazz, he took advantage. But back-to-back sets, they do rely on Sengun a little bit more. He's a big guy, but he's one of the younger dudes on the team. The Rockets have some older guys, especially like Kevin Durant and things like that. Someone could pop up with the injury report. But I really like his opportunity here to score the 20+. He can have some weird games that he just doesn't do much. This is a 14-point game against the Thunder. Another good matchup down low for him. But against Duren, he played these guys already. He had 17 points in 38 minutes, but again, shot horribly, 5 of 18. The volume was there. They don't mind him getting a lot of shots in these matchups because, again, the Pistons overall, good matchup for everyone. They're a very good defensive team, and it's a bad matchup on paper, but I think he should get the volume to get at least 20 points today. So unlike the Jalen Wells one where it's like, hey, this is a perfect matchup, this is not a perfect matchup. But for Sengun, it doesn't typically matter. Again, challenging matchups to this dominant player type. His post-up ability, very, very still over 50% of games. If you want to look at games that he's going against dominant scoring zone, very good defending the paint, he's still getting a lot of points, and he's getting a lot of opportunities too, like 22 shots, 18 shots. So even in the games he's missing, he's getting a lot of shots. He's a center. He shouldn't be shooting 28% from the field. This is a game that this would suck if he had 19 points on 56% shooting, but he didn't get to the free throw line at all. And this is a team that gives up free throws. So we know Jalen Duren likes to foul. If Sengun could take advantage of that, that would be great. But without Steven Adams, in difficult matchups, they do go to Sengun, especially on back-to-backs. I like the spot here at plus 100 for the 20+. Jumping to the next play, I'm attacking an under. It's going to be an under on Scotty Barnes' rebounds. Now, obviously, Scotty can gobble up some boards sometimes, 25 rebound game this season. But typically staying under this a whole lot of games, especially recently, the last 10 games. He's only over this once, and he had 9 boards on 16 chances. But without Jakob Poeltl in the lineup, we can just see, go to Max, go to Jakob Poeltl in the lineup, not in the lineup. And he's not hitting this very often. You'd think that without Jakob, Scotty turns into the best rebounder on this team. But he's just typically not getting that 9th rebound, that 10th rebound that would hurt us today. And again, just recently, the form has not been there. And the potentials, it's not like he's getting a ton of rebound chances. Sure, 18 rebound chances here. But again, he still needs 9 boards. So if he's going to get 18 rebound chances, he's got to convert on a 50% rate. But 12 rebound chances, 10 rebound chances, 16, sure, he got there against the Lakers. And then 11 rebound chances, 14. The rebound chances haven't been there either. So it's a line that is weird. It's weird that it's favored on the over here. I think probably because the Portland Trailblazers are on a back-to-back. But Deni Avdija should be out there. He's probable as of right now. And he's probably their most efficient scorer, all-star on this team. And that's the main thing I'm looking at. If you look at games with Brandon Ingram, look at games with RJ Barrett, you can't really find a stat that makes this more than a 50% hit rate. So again, Scotty Barnes, a really good rebounder, but this is one of those lines that just might be a little bit too high. You can see that players are not going over their line either. Very Props Madness specific players that play and rebound like Scotty Barnes over the last few games. Unless your name's Amin Thompson or Oscar Thompson, you're going over their line, but everyone else staying under. Head-to-head has played these guys once as well. 9 rebound chances in 40 minutes, by the way. RJ Barrett didn't play that game. He might not play today. So the rebound chances just were not there. And yeah, just liking the spot. Again, it's one of those where it's like, hey, is this just a little bit too high right now of a line? And he could get 7 rebounds. He could get 8 rebounds. I think it's going to be difficult to get that 9th rebound that would hurt us just based on what I'm seeing. Now, is it a good matchup for rebounds? It honestly probably is. They give up a lot of offensive rebounds, but they don't give up a lot of rebounds in general. So if you want to take away the bottom 5 teams at rebounding and the top 5 teams at rebounding, we're still looking at around a 50% hit rate. So there's no thing that I put into the filters where it's like, oh, Scotty's getting a ton of rebounds in this matchup. It's not one of those matchups. So I don't mind it. I'll roll the dice on Scotty. He's got to get 9 boards to hurt us. Again, Portland on a back-to-back. Maybe they don't have their legs under them and they're missing a whole bunch of shots. But I do like this opportunity. It's a low point total. They play with a decent pace, but the Raptors, I don't think, play with a lot of pace at all. So again, low point total here, 22.6. We can look at the splits on that as well. Game point total, if it's not some high game point total, under 230. Again, 45% hit rate. So Scotty, good rebounder, can explode for some good rebounding games, but without Jakob Poeltl, for some reason or the other, his rebounding actually gets a little bit hurt there. So plus 100 on the under, I'll take it. We got some blowout opportunities. It's a 3.5 point spread, but if it is a blowout, that's going to be a bonus here if Scotty loses some minutes down the stretch. And just, again, one of those lines seems a little bit too high here. Next play I like is going to be Dyson Daniels to get some assists. Minus 115 on the over 5.5 assists. And he crushes this line a lot, honestly, recently. He's had some duds, but even in the duds, here's 1 assist game on 9 potentials. So that just guys not hitting their shots. They also lose that game by 16 points. This is a 3.5 point spread against the Suns, and it's a difficult matchup to get assists. You can see assists allowed. They rank 5th. The Suns not dealing with any sort of injuries. And we don't have Porzingis. You know, if Porzingis is in there, it's probably easier for him to get that. But Porzingis has been out for a while. And again, he continues to crush this line in a lot of these games. The potentials are not a crazy amount, to be totally honest. But he converts at a very high rate. And you can get up to 16, 13, whatever potential assists. And we're only looking for 6 assists here. So I like the high upside here. Sure, he has some duds here and there. But he's going to play a ton of time on the court, especially if this stays close to the 3.5 point spread. The point total isn't ridiculously low. It's 233.5. He's also already played these guys once, and he had a 12 assist game in that one. They won that thing by 2 points. We could see something very similar to that. That was also a road game. He gets a home game here. If you look at the home games, I would assume it goes up just because typically it does. Home games this season over in 66.7% of games. So really liking this opportunity of a very high upside play. I think he could crush this line, but I'm not going to ladder it up. Minus 115. I think it's decent odds here. And again, not the best matchup in the world. I'll point that out right now. They don't allow a whole bunch of assists, but even that, we can go to these challenging matchups that don't allow a whole bunch of assists, and he's still going over this line in 62% of the games. So no Trae Young anymore. Dyson Daniels, their main facilitator. Jalen Johnson's facilitating has been a little bit lower as of recently. They have CJ McCollum now in games with CJ McCollum. We can see that he's over in 3 of the 5 games. Again, one of those dud games. He had 9 potentials, and the other game he ended on the hook. So I like the opportunity. The passes are ridiculous. It's over in 50 passes a game pretty much on that. You can actually look at that too. If you're going to have 50 passes in this game, he's over this in 65% of the game. So this just seems too low to me. Honestly, looking at it more, honestly, think you could ladder this up to maybe 6.5 if you want to get crazy and go to like 9 assists, 10 assists. He's done it before against the Suns, and I definitely like his opportunity here to do it again. The pace of this team is not very good. If we can look at the pace right here, they're 20th in terms of pace, but even so, if they can slow down the game in these challenging pace matchups, that's actually when Dyson Daniels thrives. So every challenging matchup that I look at, every challenging filter that I put into, because this Suns defense typically not a one that gives up a lot of assists, Dyson Daniels kind of thrives in those matchups. So in the half-court offense, Dyson Daniels is that guy that can set these guys up, whether it's them cutting baseline for some easy ones, getting some open guys for some three-pointers, whatever it might be, Dyson Daniels usually making the right play. He can't knock it down a 3 himself, so maybe he's passing up on shots like that. But really, really liking the hit rate on the filters that I'm putting in here, even though it's not a textbook matchup. So before we jump into the recap, again, one more shout out to Pikkit in this video. $100 going to one of you guys, courtesy of Pikkit. All you got to do, like this video, comment something down below, subscribe if you are new, and use code RichPicks when signing up for Pikkit. Free bet tracker for you guys to use. Even if you don't win the giveaway, when you sign up using my code RichPicks, you get $3 or $100 anyway. Here's what they look like. They have a great mobile app as well, but I'm up about 523 units over the past 2+ years. 390 of those coming in 2025 alone. And you just sync your sportsbook. They do all the rest. They give you so much data. You want to be checking it out. So again, get in on the giveaway, but you want Pikkit anyway to be tracking your plays. You want to know if you're winning or you're losing. Let's go into the recap of what we talked about in this one. I do track all my video picks manually so I can see exactly what I'm giving you guys, because obviously I make more plays than just that. But let's start with the bottom, because we just talked about Dyson Daniels, and I am going to ladder him up a little bit. I got the full unit on the 5.5 assists, loving that play. I'm going to ladder us up to 7.5 for plus 300 quarter unit. I'm going to throw 0.1 units on the 10 plus assists at plus 950 on BetMGM. So if Dyson Daniels comes all the way through for us, I think we're winning over like 2.5 units just from him. But even if we lose the back to these two and we still win the normal line, we're going to win about a half unit on him. Scotty Barnes, the only under on the day. Our rebounds line, 8.5 boards, plus 100. Sengun to score some points at 20 plus 100. And then Jalen Wells over 9.5 points. And the 3-point ladder. I guess I should point that out. The way that I'm tracking this, I'm just going to put it in as 9.5 points, because I've never done one of these same guy parlays. So I don't. I'd have to make a whole new thing of how to track it. So there's very, very few games that he scored 2 threes and also got 10 points. But the main play here is Jalen Wells, 10 plus points and 2 threes. And that's going to be a minus 109 over on FanDuel. And you could ladder Jalen Wells up. I think he's going to have a great game overall. But again, just to clarify, that's the way that I'm tracking it. So that's what we got. We got an assist line, a rebounds line, some points lines. We're laddering up some assists here for Dyson Daniels, and we even have a same dude parlay, same game parlay, whatever you want to call it, for Jalen Wells. And loving this slate, loving this board, and those are the plays I got for you guys today. So again, check out Pikkit. That was the bet tracker I showed you guys. Props Madness, that's a tool I was using all throughout the video. 25% off your first month if you want to sign up using my link in the description down below. And check out my Discord community if you want access to all of my plays. And of course, get in on the action, the $100 giveaway. Winner will be announced on Sunday, so you'll have the funds for Sunday football if you want to do that. But yeah, you got 2 days to do this thing. It's all described in the description of this video, but all you got to do is like the video, comment something down below with your Pikkit username, because you're going to sign up for Pikkit using my code RichPicks. Again, link in the description down below. Free bet tracker. It's a no-brainer to already use them anyway, but this is just additive incentive for you guys because one of you guys is getting $100. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, which will be tomorrow. We got a great slate of games today. Hopefully we're recapping another winning day. 8 of the last 10 days have been winning days. Thank you guys for all the support. I know we'll get the views back up at some point. I'm one of the best out there. I do pride myself on that. A lot of research goes into these plays. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.